Alright, next review, welcome back. For this one I actually had a hard time figuring out what to say. This is because, well, there isn't a whole lot to say about this game. But don't worry, we can still make fun of it. Sometimes when companies don't feel too creative, they tend to just take old casual games and turn them into video games. Games like backgammon, hearts or Uno have all received such a treatment countless times. Most of the time they just leave the game as it is. These type of casual games aren't that popular, but for those who like the original game they can be enjoyable, and features like online play can give them some appeal. Then there are games based on these casual games with enhancements, to make them appeal to more people. A recent example of this would be Jenga for the Wii. Most of the time these games suck big time. Let's look at such an example from 1994 for the CDI. So let's just dive in and see what we've got. Apparently this game is made by Capdisk. Ha! It's more like... No, that's too easy. Let's just watch the intro. Oh, a space game, awesome! Name please. Here it comes. Effacer! Hangman from the 25th century. Well, it sounded cool until the subtitle. I hope for their sake they didn't put it on the box. Right, they did. They even added the sentence, a game of words and wits. Wow, were they trying to make the most unappealing game ever? So this game is a game of hangman. Guess letters to reveal the word within the number of guesses. That's basically the whole game. So don't buy this game. End of review. See you all next time. Goodbye. Right. The making fun of part. Well, I don't have to put much effort into that neither, since the game is perfectly capable of doing that itself too. Since the main enhancement to this version of Hangman is that they put in a story for the game. I can't believe they seriously thought this would be a good idea, but oh well. Just see for yourself, it's just ridiculous.
Choose letters wisely, human. The fate of the galaxy's worst spellers rests with you. These intractable illiterates bear no shame, no regret for their lack of initiative in learning to read. They harbor no guilt in having others read for them, care not for the trouble they cause in not following written instruction. The well-read citizenry of this lush planet of Gaia wish you well in your quest to spell correctly. Good luck on your journey to the desolate reaches of our galaxy and the prison planet Urgric. Good luck on your mission.
Alright, so let me get this straight. They caught some, well, criminals that need to be sentenced and are put on a prison planet. And apparently the only way to get rid of them is to discover hidden words. We had an electric chair centuries ago. What happened in this timeline? And why on Earth, why in the galaxy would you get a human to do that? Like we have so much respect for language. Did those aliens do any research on us? This story is just silly. And they actually got more backstory in the game, but I won't bore you with that. Let's just say that the butchering of language can destroy planets. Once you're ready to play, you can select difficulty and a time limit in the form of that energy sphere. The least they could have done was put in a timer so we could see how much time we actually had, but oh well. After you select those, you get to your first criminal. You can get some background on them, or just start off guessing. These background stories can be downright hilarious, although I'm sure they're not intended in such a way, but just the fact that you can get your ass arrested solely for butchering language in some way is just funny. Take for example this guy, opposing and neglecting his followers. But what is he sentenced for? For making bad puns. And it gets even better, because right after explaining his backstory, our alien friend does the exact same thing this criminal is going to get killed for. He makes a bad pun. What the hell? What a hypocrite.
On Erdrick, he continues to compulsively spew forth the horrid puns, and even the other criminals try to avoid him. Now, Midge must be punished. Before you do, however, listen to his final plea.
You've caught me dangling at the end of my rope. I'm just hanging on by a thread. Oh dear. I don't mean to twine, but of cords I'm innocent. Just don't string me along, huh? 'Cause I can't take any more bad news hanging around the gallows like this.
Eru Midge hopes to set himself free by getting you all tied up. Will you let him?
The difficulty settings make no sense neither. Easiest is not the easiest. Basically in this game what easy means is easy words. So you get a lot of 3 or 4 letter words. These are almost impossible to guess. However, on the other end you have words that I just never heard of. So they are pretty hard to guess right too. It seems that the more in the middle you are, the easier it gets, with longer words that are still understandable. During gameplay, you get to just pick letters until you reveal the word or run out of guesses. There are also 4 hint buttons which will reveal one letter if you have at least 2 more guesses left and 2 different letters remain to be guessed. Problem is, only one works. There is no penalty for guessing the wrong tip button, aside from it costing a second or so of your time. What's the point? Why not just make one tip button instead? Also, sometimes you get words that really don't seem to fit into the game. Hacky? What the hell is a hacky? Luckily, you can see the definition of the word, so at least you can learn something. Let's see now. Ah, here it is. So it's slang for taxi driver. Right. So we're fighting literary crimes with street language now. Makes sense to me. Now the biggest problem I have with this game is that there doesn't seem to be any point to play. Even though it sets itself up with a story and all, there's just no end to it, and that's just cheap. After you busted some of these poor fellows, they just cycle through again and again and again. Now I must confess that I never beat 10 in a row or something, but there is no indication of any progress you make. Neither is there any form of score or leaderboard. There's also a 2-player game, but in that you just take turns. In Hangman half the fun is making a word your opponent can't guess. Here the game does it for you. So my final verdict for this game is that it's just awful. No one should ever play this. It's laughable bad, which strangely is its strongest point. It does have some educational value with its word definitions, and it teaches us that in the 25th century the pen will be mightier than the electric chair. I hope you enjoyed this installment and that you'll come back next time when I think we'll take a look at Tetris for the CDI. So many people have asked that now, and when I say many I mean like 3, so I think it's time to give that one a look. So until then, take care.